Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. Doing card of the day using the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And I have already cleared and shuffled the deck, so we'll get a card. See what's happening. These cards are almost too big to shuffle. Put them back the other way. They're almost too big to shuffle normally. They're just bendy enough in the middle that I can get them. Oop, there we go. Alright, I got a lot of ambient noise right now. Here we go. The Maiden, number 2. Just like, kind of like a combination of the High Priestess and the daughter of Pentacles, or the Page. So, there's a little bunny. And a very small version of a megalith. Path. Ankles look broken, what the hell? Shroms. Okay, so... Okay. So we have this path in nature, this sort of organic flow of where we're going. We have crown activation, which is what you'd expect with the High Priestess. With, let me see if I can get this without the light from the window totally blocking it out. Okay, it's probably about as good as it's gonna get. Okay, here we go. Right. So not only are there's mushrooms, and I can't really, my hand's covering. Yeah, there they are, the mushrooms, and there's some over here too, I think. They're not entirely the red and white ones like you'd get with the Santa Claus pictures, but it's close enough that it would, to me, suggest like a vision quest. And these flowers here, these roses, remind me of the Work Your Light Oracle, where they have this, one of the design on the back of the deck, and then also this card called the Ever Unfolding Rose, where it has to do with consciousness and things that are happening for you, not to you. And the fact that it's a path, and it has to do with the High Priestess and the intuition. So this is like a vision quest that's a nature walk. There's a butterfly up here by her hand, so we have a transformation going on. Now the Maiden is like it's a feminine energy that's sort of new, and it's not necessarily a naivety or a naivete, whatever. It's like maintaining a playful innocence in a way. It's not allowing yourself to be totally jaded by experience. That there's to say that there's still something numinous in the world, that it's not all, you know, like the world isn't made of bullshit. There's still magic in the world. No matter what you've gone through, you can still experience beauty. And in that way, it's like we're operating from a creative part of the brain here. That's the the feminine energy is. It's not it's not a measurement, it's a spiraling. So if you see, if you go into sacred geometry, you'll see there's like the golden ratio, and it's a series of rectangles. That's the masculine energy, the golden rectangle. But the feminine energy is the golden spiral because it's all curved. It's a creative flow that goes around and around and around. So it's like a curvature of I was gonna say space time, but it's like okay. So if you look at a triangle, you have flat lines. And I think I've done this before, and let me get a little piece of paper. Oh, here we go. Need a marker. Marker. Let me get the one that's not dried out because I don't want to listen to that right now. Okay. So if you have a triangle, you're going to have flat lines. This is the masculine energy. But what's really happening with any dimension in space is there is a breathing in and a breathing out. So this same triangle is constantly oscillating between this concave shape where it's sucking in into a curve, and then the convex shape here where it's breathing out and it looks like a Doritos 3D. So this is this sort of in-between space where things are like from point A to point B in a straight line, where you have like measurement and things like that. That's a masculine energy. But when it's breathing in and out in a constant flow like this is breathing out, and then this is breathing in. This is a feminine energy. But it's like when you take a point in time and you start measuring things, this is the analytical masculine energy. And this card represents that flow in and out intuitively of feminine energy. And because again, there's this transformation of, especially after the card of the day readings for the last couple of days where it was all oh man, starting to choke. I forgot to get more water. It's what the hell am I trying to say? It's a creative flow that you're not criticizing it while it's happening. It is to say, I drew this picture, but it's stupid. I don't like it. Just let it be. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, what happens is you say, like, you know, this is a piece of scrap paper that I cut off of an old drawing because I cut it down to make it like a little card. I'm going to say, oh, this drawing sucks. Well, it might not be technically perfect, but it has a certain energy signature, and that energy signature might be critical to some kind of mental process. So if you're creating something and you're like, I hate this, it looks like crap, you know, I wanted to make something that was awesome that looks more like this, you know, then it's like you're discounting the process of going through these different energy levels to get there. Let's see if there's anything else. I mean, there's some idea of regeneration here. We have this rabbit here. getting I mean, maybe it's just because I have Monty Python on my brain because Terry Jones died this week, but it's like he's got nasty, vicious, pointy teeth. Like, look at the bones. He'll do you a treat. But it's for me, that white rabbit there is more of a regenerative thing. Ooh, I've never seen this before. There's a deer in the background. Like a blue outline of a deer. Now this video is getting longer than I wanted it to be already. The blue deer, you're not going to be able to see it on here, but just there's an outline of a deer back here, and it's blue. That reminds me of a vision I saw when I was in high school. There's supposed to be some kind of um, other dimensional nature spirit that can come through as a deer. And I just found that out like yesterday when I was watching some videos. But the idea is that you're in a state where you're opening your mind to seeing other things, that there's a flow going. Now, when I saw the deer on a field of blue stuff, I was having a synesthetic experience. I was listening to music from a bunch of music videos that I had recorded onto another VHS. This was like a 2-hour long thing of just music videos. And I had my eyes closed, and it was like, the way that I have synesthesia is that I can see music. And I used to be able to do it really easy when I was little, but I've had some stuff happen, and it's really difficult for me to do now. And that's not the first time that I've heard that happen. I'm trying to be able to do it again, and I can get it a little bit. And again, it has to do with like opening yourself back up to that. It's like I'm trying to come out of this place where I've been sort of emotionally compromised, and in a like a destructive fear-based place. So what happens is that the way that I have synesthesia, I can see music. It's like a kaleidoscope thing, like a lava lamp. So when I close my eyes, I see all these different colors, and they're moving, and they're like transforming, and it's like different shapes and stuff. It's like cymatics, but in color. Um, so it was these blue and turquoisey like color shapes moving, and then I saw this stag head in the field, like one of those magic eye things where you stare at it and your eyes cross and then you see the image in it, and it's like 3-dimensional, but it's all still the color of the image. So to see that on this card is kind of mind-blowing, especially after hearing that stuff in the video the other day or yesterday or whenever. I've been in like excruciating pain for a few days, and they're all starting to flow together. So I need to stop this because I didn't want my single card things to be like 15-20 minutes long. The general idea is uh, this sort of childlike enthusiasm for creation, for creative play, creative ideas, creative downloads, to be breathing in and out with the flow of what you're perceiving without judging it or thinking it's stupid in some way. And if you look at what you're feeling or seeing or thinking or experiencing as this sort of in and out flow, and it's like different levels of what you might need to get somewhere, uh, it becomes like an ongoing series of experience that leads you down a path instead of, feeling stuck in the same place and wondering why you're broken or something like that. So it's a way to move forward instead of existing only in the physical world. You know, it's like the pentacle energy doesn't have to exist only in this three-dimensional space. It's like a pentacle is like a framework for different dimensions. It's like saying that the pentacle is a measuring point. Like if I wanted to, I could draw it this way instead, right? It's not that you, okay, so we're gonna, okay. So if this is that pentacle energy, right? It's a pentagon with the little pentagram in it. Here's it breathing in, and it looks like a star. And when it breathes out, because there's more angles on it, it looks more like a circle. So it's like the physical world is a freeze frame of like the whole of creation breathing in and out. And I think that's the critical message here. And we tend to exist only in that. We think like all of what we are or what we're trying to achieve is only in that rigid space, and it's not. So here we go. We're gonna you can get a reading if you want, you can donate, you can buy art stuff. And I will point out that a lot of my art is the psychedelic style that I've been working in since 2007 has a lot to do with the like what I would see with my synesthesia. So even my logo here, that's like what I would see. And the other things that I'm trying to explain this. My psychedelic artwork has a lot to do with the synesthesia, and I think that people can benefit either by, you know, copying that style to try to gain an experience, or to actually buy some of it, or again with the merchandise to wear some of it. Like it's not just like, oh, buy my stuff because I want money. It's like I believe that this like art therapy style can help people. So that's why it's on shirts, so you can wear it. It's on like keychains and bags and towels and stuff. And it's also in coloring books. So if you are like, well, I can't draw, well, you can color, and that way you can absorb that design. So it's not just like, oh, I want people to relax, I want people to buy my stuff and wear it and give me money. It's the way that I'm doing art has everything to do with the way that I am perceiving things, and the way that I like view energies and pick up and try to deal with tarot. You know, for me, tarot is exactly what this card is talking about. It's I cannot be hypnotized because I'm so like in control and judgmental of what comes through. You know, like I I literally spent $400 on a QHHT session, which is supposed to be like deep level hypnotic session. And when I went and when it was happening, and then when I went back and listened to like this CD of me talking, I was like, well, I could just be saying this because I want to say it. But like a year later, when I went to started watching tarot, and then last March started doing tarot, what I realized was that the cards are a bridge in the path here that let me bring in the information without judging it. Because I'm like, oh, I can prove it because it's on the card, so I know that I'm not full of shit. That's basically what these are for me. So the the stuff like this, and then the stuff that's in color like this, are kind of they're like expressions of what I learn, like about the way that the world works and energy and things like that. And so I would suggest that people research cymatics to begin with, and then as an outgrowth of, you know, the what you might be able to learn from the readings that I post, or if you want to purchase a personal reading, there's a list of those in the description box of my infomercial video. And if you want to buy like artwork, you can either get my catalog, which is like not complete. It's only got like a couple pages of a la carte pieces, but it's got stuff that you can like order, made to order stuff, or the chapbook packs. But you can get prints, you can get the merch, or the coloring books that I have on Amazon. Now the energy forms one is going to be more like this stuff, but the Draco forms one is just dragons and dinosaurs and stuff, because that's what I like. I was going to do a sound forms coloring book, and I did 2 drawings for it, and I haven't finished it, and that was 4 years ago, so maybe I'll actually finish the sound forms one. But I have an angel oracle deck that I started. I have a synthetic crystal deck that I started, and I'm going to turn those into coloring books too. So it's like all these different things that are related to essentially what this card means. And also, it would do people a lot of good to look up sacred geometry in general, because that has a lot to do with what I was talking about here. All right, so this is way long. I need to stop. So it's me again. Links to the other information are going to be below this. All right, bye.